Hello, everyone. And my name is Jana Bond. I'm founder of Finance Leader of Tomorrow program. And today I'm going to take you through my training, my program on how to land a promotion in the next 6 months. So these are the extracts from the 5-week program, and I will tell you about it a little bit later. But now let's focus in the next 60 minutes on how you can land the promotion in the next 6 months. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the exact strategies to transform you into the leader who naturally has unstoppable confidence, the leader who is valued up, down, and across the organization, and who easily delivers necessary results and builds skills. And you know, it doesn't have to be stressful. The leader does it all in a calm, pragmatic way that inspires company to retain you as a top talent. As a result, the company will reward you with a pay rise above the peers, career opportunities, and promotion. So let me start off by asking you this. What are the main things that get in the way of being the leader you want to be? And here are the reasons my clients give me. My boss doesn't appreciate me. The company is too small and it's difficult to get promoted. I don't have sufficient degree or qualification. It's difficult to combine family and career commitments. I need to focus on family. I have to take on more work and to be everything to everybody. I have imposter syndrome. I don't want to fail when I have more responsibilities. I'm not getting the opportunities I want. I'm not sure if I should leave company or not. I'm not sure how to ask for promotion or pay rise, as my results should speak for myself. Now, if you can relate to one or more of these reasons, you are not alone. These are the most common challenges people have when they think of leveling up in their role and landing a promotion. And that's because the work and behaviors you used to get to this far in your career are not the strategies that will continue to create success for you in the future. And you need to understand how companies identify future leaders and how you can use this knowledge to focus on what's really important for the company so you don't chase your boss or have another disappointing year without progression. Instead, you have a double-digit pay rise above peers and continuous career progression initiated by the company, not you. So from my experience, there are key 3 elements every company is looking for in the future leader, and this is success formula. So every company is looking for value-adding projects. Can individuals deliver something specific on top of their day-to-day job? Management is also looking for the people with the winning mindset, and I will talk about it in more details in my next slides. And they also already built some perception of you. So you need to make sure that you have a strong brand you, and you need to be able to build your or change your perception and perception of others of you. So what I learned in my 15 and over years of career in F&A. Now, the truth is, you don't need to work extra hours, do job jumping, pursue multiple qualifications, and sacrifice your work-life balance. All you need is to demonstrate the value you are delivering to the company, and it needs to be done on continuous and confident basis. Okay, so who am I? So I've been in the industry for over 15 years. I'm an experienced finance and commercial professional. So I've been working in the UK and internationally. I'm currently, as I mentioned, Director of Finance and Business Insights. In the past few years, I've been also focusing on my coaching program, and I'm founder of Finance Leaders of Tomorrow. I've been working across different industries, FMCG, pharmaceutical, wholesale, retail. I'm a member of Financial Executive Networking Group and also CIMA Women in Leadership Group. And, you know, my ambition is to see more women in finance in the leadership roles, and that's what I'm focusing on my daily basis in my company. I have also 2 kids, and you can see here the companies I've been working in, and I'm currently working in Alliance Healthcare. So what about my career progression? I started about beginning of 2002, I started as a brand finance analyst. And then I was shortly promoted after 2 years working as a brand finance analyst. I was promoted to senior finance analyst. And to be fair, in that period of 10 years between 2005 and 2015, I've done multiple roles. But as you could probably notice, I was promoted only once. And that was very, very disappointing for me because I felt that I could do more. And that was exactly the period when I moved to the UK and I could see the potential. I could see that I could grow, but I couldn't break the glass ceiling. However, I started looking into what I'm doing wrong and really what company is looking for in potential candidates. And then I started looking into the people who were promoted quite often. And I read a lot of books, I participated in many trainings, signed up for the coaching, had a mentor. And as a result, I transformed the way I was perceived by the company. I transformed my contribution to the company, and it was all without any additional work done. It's all without additional qualifications done. And as you probably remember, I also had 2 kids. So in 2015 and 16, I was promoted, and it was a big step change for me. I was a group finance manager. And then again, I became a senior business partner. I was promoted again and became associate director. And then again, I became a head of finance and strategic project leader. And then again, to director of finance and business insights. So I'm currently responsible for the 2 billion revenue business. So this is a business where we support independent pharmacies across Europe. So it's a very big step up for me. And I'm sure that I can continue grow my career. And that's what I'm going to share with you as well. And I was using these 3 bubbles, 3 key elements to build a successful career. So if you remember, it was value-adding projects, winning mindset, and building my brand. Okay? So what did I do wrong in my first 10 years? Why I was promoted only once? Honestly, I used to work extra hours to prove that I can do my job well. And I have to prove that I can do multitask. So I would say yes to every project coming my way. I mean, I would spend hours and hours on fine-tuning the reports and presentations. And I also at the same time did SEMA qualification. And it was completely stressful for me because I had also the family commitments. Did it work, as I mentioned to you? No, of course it didn't work. I wasn't promoted. I was stuck at the same level. Yes, I had different interesting roles, but in terms of the, bonuses or in terms of the pay rise, it was flat. I mean, it was maximum 5% pay rise on annual basis. So it wasn't big enough for me. And I started having this blaming attitude. I was complaining about the boss being wrong, about the small departments, and there is no way I could be promoted any further. I was blaming the fact that I had lack of qualifications. I didn't have MBA. I didn't have any degree from the UK universities, etc., etc. As a result, I felt completely stressed and burnout. And every year, when I saw somebody get promoted, even though it was with less skills, with less experience, oh my God, I felt so demotivated because of that. So it didn't work for me at all. But then I realized, you know what? I need to focus on what's important for me. And I need to understand how company perceives me. And that's how I came up with these 3 secrets, which I'm going to share with you in the next slide. I realized that I did everything wrong because I didn't know these 3 secrets. And I didn't know exactly how the company defines top talents. So in bubbles around value-adding projects, winning mindset, and building your brand, I realized secret 1, which was that you need to demonstrate that when you're ready for the promotion in the next 6 months, you need to focus on 2-3 projects only 2-3 projects. For the winning mindset, I think the secret for me was that I didn't know how to ask for the promotion. And on the other hand, I thought even if I would ask for promotion, I didn't have enough experience. I didn't have qualifications. And again, the company was too small. Or, I had limiting opportunities for leveling up. So how do you go about it? and then building my brand. Now, I'm going to tell you and to share with you my tips on how to network effectively and build your brand. And you will understand why I'm saying this in the next slide as well. Why is it so important? Now, let's focus on the secret number one. How to demonstrate that you are ready for promotion in the next 6 months by focusing on 2-3 projects only. So these are value add projects. And you know what made me think like that is because when I was working day in, day out on my months and budgeting, planning, everything was spot on. But then I realized that the people who got promoted before me, they had some kind of a special projects which were very popular, very strategic, and they handled their job very differently. They did it on a top level only. They didn't do any deep dives or any detailed reconciliation. So their primary focus was on the special projects. And also they were highly supported by the leadership team. So it gave them opportunity to present the results of this project in the big meetings, in the leadership team meetings. And what it means is that these people had a good visibility and a good networking. Now, and this is how I came up with the idea that I need to show the value I'm delivering. So every company, irrespective of the industry, or as long as it's commercial, it needs to deliver the value, right? It needs to deliver the value to their key stakeholders or shareholders. So you need to be able to identify what are the value add projects and tasks. And I'm going to share it with you in a minute. Now you need to get buy-in from your line manager. And this is critical to get the support and necessary resources, because it's highly likely that you will be working on these projects in a team. Now you need to make sure that you regularly update on the status of these projects and keep your manager aware about the progress. And if there are any blocks, you need to be able to escalate. And then you also need to make sure that you have quarterly performance reviews with your line manager and that you cover the status of the project. It's included in the agenda. And it doesn't have to be an hour of update. It can be 10, 15 minutes, because before that, your boss hopefully was aware about the status of the projects from your regular updates. Now, what do I mean by value add project? Let's do a little bit of digging. Now, as I mentioned to you, every company, every commercial company, they have some key KPIs they need to achieve. It could be market share, it could be revenue increase, it could be cost savings, cash flow, process improvements. Quite often companies in a digital era now include some systems, new systems implementation. It could be business model change. For example, companies merging with another company, joint venture, which all have some kind of an organizational impact. And what is critical is that you have on your current job, you are impacting some areas, some of these KPIs, directly or indirectly. When I was an analyst, obviously, my focus was about the market share. Working with the marketing team, it was all about ROI, improving ROI, return on investments on the marketing. On the marketing spend. It was all about cost savings if I was looking into the production side. So it was all about improving the reporting and the systems for the people who can navigate, who are not very strong with the numbers and they need to navigate throughout. The critical point is you don't come with the problems. You come with solutions. And as a finance, we actively kind of looking for the problems. If we have some issues, we tend to come up with the issues, and we are very rarely come with a solution. So please, 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 every time when I hear, oh, we have a problem, well, and, you need to be able to illustrate that you are a future CFO and you can come up with a recommendation. And it doesn't have to be the recommendations which you need to follow up on, but it's just your mindset of finding the solution. That's what company is looking for. So let me give you an example. If you are currently doing your day-to-day job and you know that something is not matching up or something is, out of your control, bring it to the attention to your manager and say, listen, if you want, we can look into this project. let it be that project which will help me to contribute towards the strategic KPIs. If it's a market share or a revenue increase, you can look at the promotional effectiveness. You can look at the competitors analysis. You can do some research on the product launches and how did it launch versus the business case. So you can review who are your worst customer, best customer, worst product, best product. There's so many opportunities you have, at the tip of your fingers. And quite often this data is not only sitting in your desktop. You might go and need to ask for it. And you need to go and do some digging as well. So it does take time. But as long as it helps company to deliver their strategic KPIs, that will do. Make sure that when you define the project, they have a time bound. Okay, so it's not going to be in addition to what you have currently, but it's going to be something special you are going to achieve. Share with your line manager, and then he can share also upwards. And then, you can also highlight it as a value-add project, which will help you towards your career. So you use it as a proof to show that, yes, you are strong, you have potential for the leadership role, you have analytical skills, you have initiative as well, so kind of future leadership skills. You can come up with ideas, you can lead the team, you can work across different functions together to gather the ideas. So that's what I mean when I say value-add project. And please, please, please define these projects with your line manager. And why this one is important, as I mentioned to you, is because if you don't ask, you don't get. You need to have a line manager aligned with your value-add project and with the fact that they help you to get to the next level. Okay, so this is very important. You are not doing it because you have free time. You are not a charity. Use this momentum to make the bargaining power towards your promotion or towards your pay rise or towards your, some exciting new opportunity or new role. And make sure that these projects fit with the company strategy. They fit with the KPIs I mentioned before. Now, commitment from line manager is critical because he needs to support you throughout the process. It's not like yes, and that's it, and you're gone. No. Manager needs to align with you what you are doing, what are the projects you are focusing on. So he could also remove all these unnecessary things you are doing in the background, which might not add value at all, because what you are doing on a daily basis is expected. Okay, so you don't drop it, you continue doing it, you drop the ones which don't add any value, but it allows you to free up some time to focus on the key projects. Now, you need also to align with your manager that whatever you are doing, that your ambition to grow is also shared with HR. It's either through your line manager or you reaching out to HR together with your line manager. It doesn't really matter. But the more people know about your ambition, the better. Now, as I mentioned, the buy-in from your boss is critical to remove any unnecessary and routine tasks. Okay, so let's see, you have monthly reports, and I used to have loads of them. All I did was just putting the numbers together, and it will take ages and ages for me to get this data on a monthly basis, but nobody reads it, nobody reads it. So what I realized that I spent like at least half a day doing these reports, which I inherited from my successor or predecessor, and they were not really value add. And I aligned with my manager that I can drop these reports, move them to bi-monthly or quarterly instead of monthly, and then I can focus my value add projects during this time. And I can come up with many, many things I'm doing during the day, which I could probably drop. And if I really, really want, I could focus on something special. And don't be afraid of asking to give you some freedom to get rid of some unnecessary work, especially when projects come from different functions. Your line manager should be able to say no. You are busy with something else. So be able to also say no to other people. Now, regular updates on the status and escalation, if any, blocks. Very important, very critical. And it shows that you're in charge, you're in control of value of your projects and obviously of your career and progression. You need to show a regular progress, whether there is progress or not. Share it, okay? You need to change your boss's perception of you. And what boss think of you is how he's going to tell to his peers about you. So the key image he needs to, or she needs to have in her head is that you're a problem solver and action driven, okay? You need to stay visible, and that also helps you with regular updates to your team members or to some other functional leaders who are also involved in this project. It's also very critical to stay in a timely manner, so your boss will help you to remove the blocks as well, to unlock some resources, whether it's monetary resource or people resources. Now, what do you do with quarterly performance review? Important, super important. You need to ask how you are progressing, and you need to ask and listen to the feedback your manager gives about you. So hopefully it will not be the surprise to him, and you will not be surprised about the feedback because you've been regularly updating him or her on the status. And don't be afraid to ask your boss what can be done better. What would he or she do in your case? Because it's very easy for everyone to say, oh, yeah, I see what you're doing, and you missed the timeline. So, and then ask back. So if you would be in the same situation like me, how would you do? What would you do differently? And then don't wait for the end of the project to ask this question. If the project is less than 3 months, ask on a monthly basis just to get some check-ins as well. Thank your boss for the support. This is very important because you would show the appreciation for the support, and we are all human beings. We like being told that we are good at what we are doing, and stay positive and excited because you're on track. You're on track to get to your goals of landing the promotion or getting the pay rise or driving your career. Now, make sure that you leave the room with a positive feeling, because as a famous saying goes, people don't remember what you do or what you say, but people remember how you made them feel. So if your boss thinks that you're in charge, you're in control, you can handle difficult situations, you can manage multiple teams, you can manage the scarce resources, that all that matters. You are potentially the material for the future leader. Now, you might read it and think about it and think about some negative things when it comes to the value add projects. And let me just bring up a few which I heard from the people. Some people think that it requires complex project management skills. Believe me, it's not. So this is the basic project management when you identify the resources and you are very clear about the scope and you're very clear about the outcomes you want to achieve. So please be aware that it's not a sophisticated project management skills you need to have. This is just your day-to-day job. So you know how to do your month close, you know how to do the budgeting. You have the process in your head already. So this is very, very similar. Once you've done one project, you will understand how the process can be improved, and you can improve it in the second project, okay? So you don't need to have any special project management skills. Project should be high profile. Yes and no. Ideally, it should be high profile, but if you can't come up with anything, come up with something, okay? Something which can improve the processes, or which can improve, which allows also your boss to put it on his performance review when he reviews what he did during the year. Make it high enough to be noticeable and important for your boss. I need to work hard to deliver the project. No, you don't need to work hard. You will get rid of the unnecessary work you do. It will free up your time. You will focus and learn new things. That's true, but you will need to do it anyways. You will need to do it anyways when you will be moving to another role, when you will be moving to another company. You want it or not, you will be learning new skills. And you don't need to work hard to deliver the project because you have a team who are achieving certain milestones for you to deliver the project. So you are basically managing people And if you have any blocks, you escalate it, you discuss it with your line manager. I'm already busy with my current job. I will not be able to fit in any more work. That's another popular belief. And it's usually very stressful. I'm not up for it. I don't want to fail. So the last 2 bullet points. You know what, when you talk about your project, when you talk about the status, you will realize that nobody wants you to fail. People will be happy to support you, provided that it's a project of the high value, high visibility. You know, you will see how many people will try openly to help you. Definitely your boss will be very supportive, because nobody wants to have in their team the person who is not performing well, because it also reflects on his or her performance as a manager. And, you know, as I mentioned to you, you need to get rid of unnecessary, non-value added tasks you are doing. You need to be able to say no to people who come to you and ask you to do some nice to see, nice to know work. Just say no. You need to focus on your career and your job and your goals. And by focusing on these goals, you know, it gives you a good motivation to say no and free up some time and just, you know, keep the noise out to deliver what you need to deliver. Now, the truth is, if you continue doing what you've been doing, you will stay where you are in your career. And when I was stuck in the same level for the 10 years, only after 10 years, I realized, so it's not enough to do your job well. This is expected. You know, the company pays you to do the job well. And you need to have some special projects, value-add projects, to land a promotion in the next month. This is just something extra you need to do to show to the company that you are ready to lead certain functions, to lead certain teams, to take on ownership and responsibility for achieving results of the company. Now, I hope that was clear. Now I'm moving on to the secret number 2, how to ask for promotion despite not having enough experience, qualifications, or a company is too small with limited next level up opportunities. Now, how do you ask for promotion or a pay rise? First of all, of course, you need to schedule a meeting with your manager, right? It's a no-brainer. And the preparation for the meeting is very, very key. Now, you might think that you don't have enough experience, and we are going to address it. And, you know, the same objection could come from your boss saying, well, there are not that many opportunities in the company, or our company is too small. I don't know where you see yourself, it will be very difficult. These are the common things people usually say. Okay, so let's go one by one. Schedule a meeting with your manager. In my experience, if you don't ask, you don't get. Once in my performance review, when I asked for the promotion, so am I going to be promoted because I did all this job so well? And my boss said, promoted? You didn't tell me you want to promote it. I thought you have a family, you have 2 kids, you are focusing on your family, I know that you are doing STEMA. And I thought, no, who told you that I don't want a promotion? You know, I thought it's a common thing that people progress after a certain number of years in a row. And she said, no, it has to be clearly outlined, because people are not mind readers. You know, and that was a big revelation for me, because it was my fault completely, that I didn't allow company know, and I didn't allow my boss know that I want to have a promotion, because currently I'm a boss. Yeah, I have a team of people working for me, and quite often, if a person doesn't tell me that he wants a promotion, there is not going to be much done. You know, I will not push him or challenge him with new projects. If I have some challenging projects or interesting projects, I would give it to the person who clearly stated that he wants to be promoted, because I want to test him whether he or she is capable of reaching to the next level. So subconsciously, I would always go after the top performer, after the person who is willing to put his foot forward, you know, and say, can it be me? Because I just stated that I wanted to have a promotion, and I just want to prove that I'm worthy of it and I can handle difficult projects. So please, if you want to get to the next level, don't be embarrassed to ask for them, just to state that you're ambitious and you want to have career progression, and mention this career discussion as a topic in your invitation, so that your manager is also expecting this conversation and he or she is prepared for this. Now, when you enter, don't ask, you need to be, before you go into the meeting, you need to be sure about what you want to achieve, where you see yourself in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years, how ambitious you are. Do you want to lead the company, or do you want to be just kind of a specialist in certain area? Because you can do career there as well. Yeah, you don't have to have a team of people. So you can be specialist, highly rewarded as well, because your skills are very unique. You know the details of the certain areas very deeply, like if you're internal control auditor, or for example, a treasurer, you can be rewarded through these functions. But you need to be very clear what you want to achieve, so your manager and your company can navigate through potential roles which could be open for you in the future. Now, when you prepare for the key meeting, apart from this vision of yourself in 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years, or 3 years, also have an athlete mindset. Okay, so what I mean by that? So quite often when before athlete runs the marathon or any distance, they just imagine themselves already winning the competition, already having a gold medal, already being on the pedestal and listening to the hymn of his or her country. So they have this winning mindset, and it just makes your brain work in a certain way. You kind of keep your words are coming out in a way that in a way that shows that you are ready, that you are ambitious, that you are motivated. It hit me in my first 5 years, when I was a brand analyst. Every time when I would go to any of these discussions, I would be embarrassed and I would say, oh my God, I'm just so scared. I have nothing to share. I hope my performance was good enough. And, yes, I did that. I can talk about that. But, oh my God, I hope my boss will not remember that failure I did, that mistake I did in that report. Hopefully he or she wouldn't remember it. And you know what? That's exactly what my boss would bring up. And that would actually happen. What you think is actually what happens. So imagine that when you go into the meeting and when you're coming out of the meeting, imagine very vividly that the boss shakes your hand and says, or smiles back at you and says, listen, I didn't know you're such a great candidate. You're such a great person. You've been contributing so much to this company. Definitely, I see you as a potential for the great career in the finance, and I will try to help you as much as I can. So imagine this conversation, imagine this outcome before you go into the meeting. This is the universe talking to you. This is like events happening, which allows you to manifest this outcome and that desire and that dream, or that vision manifested in the real life. Now, as I mentioned to you, what is very important when you will be asking for the promotion, you make a list of all the achievements you've done, you personally done, okay? And the impact you made to the company, to the processes. If you manage to close the month and not in 5 days, but in 4 days, say that you saved that much of time. Say that you have that department to simplify the months and process. Say that you have a now better visibility of what the key drivers are on the movements in the balance sheet. So say everything you think is worth mentioning, even if it's not worth mentioning, but anything differently you think you've done. Because even if you haven't done many value add projects, or maybe they haven't finished yet, at least your manager knows, and he can or she can hear that you've been working on something very specific as well, something new, something different to your daily job, and that you can already have a sign of contributing towards the company performance. Okay, so make a note of all the results you achieved and the impact you made, not the organization, not we, not the team, you. Okay, Stay factual to avoid discussions about your style. Now, in my experience, when I had the annual reviews, so I had very conflicting feedback. So somebody would say that I have poor leadership skills. Some would say that I have strong leadership skills. My communication skills was all over the place. Somebody would call me aggressive. Somebody would call me pushover. And I think, what is it? What is it? I mean, it's also subjective. So that's why I like facts. I like numbers. You know, you can't argue with the numbers. Try to avoid these style discussions about just skills. Focus on the numbers. Focus on how much days, you know, how the reduction in days or in hours you help company to achieve during the month close, during the budget preparation, etc., etc. Talk about the cost savings you deliver. Talk about the number of customers you kind of chased or called up to get the money back from them because they're in bad debt or something like that. You don't talk numbers. Don't put any assessment or, you know, any appraisal on these numbers, because you want to avoid this style, discussion of your style. This is all very subjective and it doesn't help either. Now, and ask your manager for the feedback on your 2-3 value add projects that need to be included. Say, listen, and you remember I've been doing this project. I just want to get your feedback on that because I've been, you know, sharing with you all these projects and I hope they are still valid and for me to get the promotion or a pay rise. Okay, and ask how your boss can support you to get to the next level if these projects are delivered. So very, very important as well to have his buy-in into the process, that he needs to commit his time, he needs to go and align it with HR or with his line managers to talk about you and your ambition to grow. Now, how to address the lack of experience. Now, this is very interesting because many people say, oh, I need to get certain experience to be able to grow. But in my view, I see people who were in the company for maybe 1 year, 2 years max and already get to the next level, whereas other people might spend in the company 10, 15 years and still be the same. So when you will be discussing value add projects, ask your manager to support you, you know, because you might not know everyone, you might know everything about the company. So ask for his, like, to have these check-ins for 10, 15 minutes, just in case you will be stuck, you don't know who to talk to, that he is directing you to the right people and to the right resources, because at the end of the day, you help your boss to also shine in front of his managers, yeah? So he needs to commit to you. And don't let it stop you. I mean, we all need to learn it somewhere, and you can learn on the job. It's not, you're not, you know, going to be a doctor, you're not, you know, doing something very technical. This is the projects which have a time limit. You know, these are the projects which are supposed to end at certain time. So you have a great opportunity to meet new people, to learn new skills. And can you imagine how much you can learn after 3 months working on 2-3 projects? It's amazing. It's the amount of like the learning curve you will have is probably almost like vertical. So just look forward for it. Look forward for getting new experiences and meeting new people and building a network. And behave as you are a leader of the project. You own it, you know. And sometimes people say, "Oh, but I'm shy. What if it shows that I'm unprofessional?" Well, we all unprofessional when we start something new, you know. So don't be shy to ask for help and support. It just shows when you ask for the help that you are well-rounded, that you understand the constraints, that you understand where we need to invest more time. So it all shows only positive signs, not negative signs of you. And don't let past dictate your future, please. You are at the beginning of your adventure. You know, you are at the beginning of career growth, continuous career growth. So whatever happened in the past, that you were stuck for 10 years in the same role like me, or you were on maternity leave for I don't know how many years, 5 years or over, you know, don't let it dictate it. That's it, the clean sheet. Think of yourself as the future CFO of the company. You own your career, you own your life. And that's what you are passionate about. Show the passion, the positivity, believe in your desire to grow, and that will just infect other people in the organization. And where is the will, there is the way. That's all I'm saying. So be passionate, show the vibe, show that you can do it, show the can do attitude, be a problem solver, good communicator, and stay positive. Now, how to address lack of opportunities in your company? So quite often, and even in my experience, I didn't have many opportunities. So there was me, senior business partner, and then director. So there was nobody in between me. So what I did, I actually started looking at the opportunities outside of finance. So in my example, I was looking at the projects, working with the operations team. And what I can recommend you to do, if you have a lack of opportunity in finance, try also to network with other functions, marketing, sales, purchasing teams, to understand if you can help them as well. Just make sure that this is project. It's not your additional responsibility. So it has a limit, it has a time bound, and it has some certain number of hours you allocate to this project. It will help you to expand your skills and knowledge of the business, and it also helps you to build a network and a fan club. And once you start looking into this project, or supporting other functions, I don't know, with for example, creating new reports, simplifying the way they view the actuals, doing some additional digging, or developing the dashboard. All of a sudden, in my experience, I became a strategic project leader, and that's kind of made me promoted. I became focusing on the key projects, 2-3 projects. I had 2 at that time, and they were very strategic. And I just called myself. So I'm head of finance. I'm doing this job like for 20 minutes, but for 20%, but 80% I'm spending on this project. So why would I not call myself then strategic project leader? And that's how it came about. I started putting this in my signature, on my emails. I was, in the meetings presenting myself as group finance manager and also strategic project leader. And it kind of stuck with me. And that's how I get to the next level. All of a sudden, the role was created because people realized that I'm, good enough to get to the next level. Yes, maybe I'm not yet a director, but I'm something in between director and the senior business partner and group finance manager. So I was associate director and I was a head of finance and special projects leader. So that was a quite natural way of moving maybe away from finance a little bit towards special projects, and then building your expertise and expanding your knowledge, expanding your skills and network, and becoming a little bit more senior. So you never know, maybe you will not end up with a promotion, but at least you will end up with a bigger pay rise than your peers. So that's definitely is. So just to outline, you are in charge of your career. You need to make sure that you understand it 100%. You always have a choice. You always have a choice to say no. You always have a choice to leave the company, to jump into the new role. But in my experience, it's much easier to start within the current company. Speak up about your ambition. It needs to be super clear to your line manager, to your HR manager, that you want to grow. Demonstrate that you are ready for promotion. Demonstrated by reviewing the results, quoting the big numbers, and be open to take on new value-add projects. So, yeah, sometimes managers might say no, and you might feel a little bit of fear, you don't like the rejection, and, so what? As I mentioned, you are in charge. If it doesn't happen today, it will happen eventually because your mind is set on it. Okay, and once you set your mind on it, you will be surprised, but the boss might go, you might be offered another opportunity, or she might even come back to you and say, listen, it might not work out in my department, but it might work out in that department. So, don't be upset when people say no. Don't have a fear of rejection. So that's just stops you from double guessing, just, yeah, okay, so let's move on to the next opportunity. So don't be afraid of no, but as I mentioned to you, before you go to the meeting, don't assume no, assume always yes. Some people have difficult boss, and that's true. That's why you need to expand the number of people you touch, with your profession, yeah? So it's working with other department heads and leaders to identify the special projects, making sure that it's not only your difficult boss who always moan about how she's fed up with her career and your job, etc. Make sure that you have a fun club with other leaders. And you might say, well, I'm not confident about my past experience. Who cares? Who cares about your past experience? If you can take a pain away from your boss, if you can help him or her to solve certain problems and do it, believe me, they would laugh somehow. I would love somebody to come to me and say, listen, what's on your project list? If you want, I can support you with this. I'd say, please, yes, do it for me. Okay, so let's swiftly move on to the last secret. The secret how to network effectively and building your brand. Now, critical, super critical, as I mentioned just a second ago. The truth is, your boss might not have enough gravitas to push you in front of other people. And it could be because he's not experienced, or it could be that he doesn't like you, or it could be many other reasons, right? Or he might think that you're not good enough. So, and he might not be, even if he pushes you forward, even if he talks about you a lot, he might not have enough gravitas because he's not the decision maker. So you need to make sure that you have also other people contributing and talking about you positively. So, and usually as a manager, when I put my people forward for the promotion in front of other function leaders, I will be looking for the social proof. I will be looking for somebody to say, oh yeah, I know this guy or a girl, I know he came to me and it was very, very, he sounded very professional and I really like him. And I think, yes, I think he's been very good. So I agree with you. So we are all looking for the social proof. So help your manager to get you promoted by also doing a lot of networking or a bit of networking, but some networking with other function leaders. Yes, other function leaders and how you get them to them. So usually coffee breaks, cafeterias, standing in a queue, being in a lift, have this curious mindset about what's in other people's departments going on, what makes them, awake at night. Be curious about the projects they might have. For you, introduce yourself, of course, say I'm such and such, and I work in that department. Very keen to grow, and I was wondering if you have anything new. What's going on in your department? Anytime I can, any help you might need. I'm very good at Excel. Maybe you people need some help with building the report or something. Be ambitious, problem solver. Focus on people. Focus on how you can help people to get to be more effective at their work. I can help marketing people to achieve certain things, or but make sure that they are clear that your offer is a one-off project. It's not the continuous support. All you need is just for the leaders of the other functions to be able to say something positive about you, okay, and to kind of help your boss, support your boss when it comes to the promotion discussions. Always come prepared with recommendations. If you have something you're familiar with in terms of the Excel, say, yeah, I can have the pivot tables, this and that. So always come with recommendations when you hear about the problem. And, as I mentioned, the more recommendations you can provide, the better your brain starts thinking about the problem solving, so it helps as well. External networking is very important as well. Utilize LinkedIn, professional qualification forums, etc. So like this one, it's been very, very helpful to see you all here, and I hope we can keep in touch as well. Sign up also to the news about your key competition or industry. There is a very simple thing to do is to put your competitor name down or your industry name down in a Google Alerts, and every time it pops up in a internet, you will get the email reference to the article. Just be careful about the emails you will be receiving, because it could be quite substantial, especially if it's something generic, like about certain industry. Okay, so be aware and try to look for the news about your competitors, about the key developments in your industry, because that could be the good icebreaker when you will be talking to other function leaders or to your boss. And just come across as a CFO and CEO of your business, own your department, own the numbers, own the job you're doing. Now, the common myth could be that the managers are too senior, they would not listen to me. Well, listen, if somebody, as I mentioned, if somebody comes to me, very junior, and says, I'm here to help, let me know how I can help, it will also help me to understand other functions, I'd say, yes, please be my guest, because to be fair, that's exactly what I did when I was junior. That helped me a lot to build my confidence also in knowing the business, knowing the commercial things, knowing what impacts these numbers. I just closed the month, but what does it mean? So as long as you have the story to tell, that would help, because numbers sell, story sell. So that's what it is. So you need to be able to build a story behind the numbers. I'm not confident enough to speak to other senior leaders. We are all shy. And even though we are the leaders, sometimes we can be very lonely. So please come and say hello to us, and you will see that we are normal people. We don't bite, we don't swear. And we will be very, very comfortable talking to you. And knowing that you're not, of course, the CEO or CFO yet, and that's fine. We all been through these difficult times when you were a little bit shy doing the presentations, asking for help. We all been through this, so we know how you feel. We know what you want, and we really, really want to support you. And that could be, as I mentioned to you, the industry knowledge could be the icebreaker as well. So builds your confidence when you speak to your lineman or to the other function leaders. So the truth is, so when companies do the people appraisal and when they decide who's going to be promoted or not, that usually takes a team of leaders, and your boss is not usually enough, so he's not the decision maker on your promotion. Hence, you need to broaden your network with other function leaders, minimum 2, and build a reputation with them of the problem solver. Okay, so it all brings me to the summary of what we discovered. And we covered 3 secrets: how to demonstrate that you are ready for promotion in the next 6 months by focusing on 2-3 projects only, so value add projects. How to ask for promotion despite not having enough experience, qualifications, or a company is too small with limited next level up opportunities. It's all about having a winning mindset. And how to network effectively and building your brand. Okay, so that links to the brand you and how people perceive you. Do they perceive you as a top talent? Do they perceive you as a candidate for the promotion? You need to work on it, because what we perceive about ourselves is not necessarily what company perceives about us. And again, just a quick reminder of the success formula on how to land the promotion, value add projects, winning mindset, and building your brand. Okay, so you learn all of that. And you are probably serious about landing your promotions, otherwise you will not be staying until now, right? And you want to develop necessary skills for continuous career growth. You just don't want to have it one-off. Yeah, it would be great to have a promotion every 2 years, have a double-digit pay rise, have additional bonuses, etc., etc. And you can use the strategies outlined in the presentation, and you probably already tried to implement some of them. Right, so I'm sure you have attended various trainings and read trendy bestsellers on leadership. So you know what you're supposed to do. but knowing what to do and actually doing it are two different things. And every time when we delay, we are losing the critical career momentum. And we are losing it while we are trying to figure it out what to do next. You know, somebody else is getting promoted, another year passes by, and then we are saying to ourselves again, we'll do it next year, and then yet again, it doesn't happen. So what's the fastest and easiest way to activate this more sophisticated approach to success and to see the guaranteed results and landing the next level up in your career, so in the next 6 months? Well, in my experience, it requires someone who went through the similar experience as I did. And for me, it was my mentor and my career coach. And I know that it helped me. And I know that by me providing this career coaching course, I can help you as well. And why it's important? Because if you have somebody who can support you, that person can also notice and redirect your thinking, so you can get the results you want. Now, I help you practicing value brand mindset formula. And I can help you to practice it over and over again so that once you learn it, you'll have it forever. And you can apply it to any company, any situation that comes up in the future. As a career coach, I will make you believe in your inevitable success without worrying if you are doing it right. So without thinking am I on the right progression or am I not, what my boss is thinking of me or not. And you will enjoy your job because you are confident that you are on the right path to achieve goals. And you will know for sure that your company wants to retain and develop you. And you will naturally get noticed in a way that enhances your value and gets you noticed by all the right people. Now, these right people might come inside and outside the organization. And as a coach, I'll take you through the process of becoming the leader you want to be. Now, there is one thing I want to tell you, that I don't work with everyone. I only work with clients who are ready to develop necessary skills and get out of their comfort zone. And this is critical because I only work with the clients who want to become a better leader and secure financial future for themselves and their families fast. And the clients who are consistently willing to show up for themselves. And this is about prioritizing your development before your work. So this is eliminating I'm too busy, I don't have time objections. Because the better leader you are, the better you show up for your company and the easier it is to get results. Now, I've been in the coaching business for quite a while now. So these are a few testimonials which I had from the people like you who joined my program and became very, very successful. So what do you need to do next if you want to really make sure that you are progressing in the next 6 to 12 months? You need to sign up to my 5-week program, Finance Leaders of Tomorrow, if you want to ensure the career progression still this fiscal year. Okay, and to sign up, just follow the link, yanabond.com, work with me. Now, this is a 5-week program and it consists of different modules when we work on upgrading your thinking. So making sure that we remove all the blocks which you have when you think about the promotion. So we will go deep into your emotions about the phrase, you're a director. You know, we will be removing these blocks in order for you to have a winning mindset, athlete mindset, okay? We will make sure that you're already imagining yourself as a future leader, as a leader, you know, and it just makes your life, your daily job, your conversations with your manager on a different level, on a level when you see top talents talking to their leaders and asking for the promotion. So that's the level I want to focus on in my module 1. It's upgrading your thinking. Then we will be mastering, of course, your professional skills. You can't just do Excel and that's it. You know, we will be looking at your value-add projects. We will be identifying them, and it's not just 2, 3 out of blue. You know, we will make sure that these are really critical projects and I will try to motivate and massage few ideas here and there to help you to get to the next level by only focusing on 2-3 projects, which will really be so amazing, you know, like very important, but not so difficult, low hanging fruits. Okay, I'm so excited. And then we will be talking a lot about managing your manager, how you can position these projects. And then again, we will be mastering your mind. I know that many people think, oh, why you didn't get the promotion mindset? So we need to minimize it. Again, different way of thinking about the projects you are doing. And if during the project you face some barriers, how to overcome them using your mindset, using your belief system. Then we will talk a lot about mastering your image and exposure. So that's very important. How do you plan your networking events? What types of networking you can do? We will look at your weekly routines, etc. So I have visibility routine, visibility calendar. So all of that we will be talking in module 4 and module 5. Then we will be talking about automating your career growth. So making sure that your projects are on track, how to position them to your line manager, making sure that you have continuous career progression. So this is more practicing. This is some further tips on how you can progress every 2-3 years, what you need to do, how to expand your skills, etc., etc. So I'm very excited about this as well. And other benefits of the program is that, of course, we will have weekly one-to-one sessions with me personally to review your progress and coaching sessions, and they're worth around 2,500. It's also lifelong access to the network of career-driven individuals, weekly live sessions on Facebooks to address any questions students have, clients have, review of your CV. If you are looking to move to another company, maybe practice for the interviews, because I do have a lot of interviews when I'm hiring, so I know how to look at CVs, I know what questions people usually ask, and many more. Okay, so what will require from you? This is 5-week program, and it requires a one-off investments of nearly 1,500. And I know it might sound a lot, but the value is great. So first of all, I guarantee that you will get promotion. If you don't get the promotion, I will return this money back to you. It includes 5 modules of intensive online coaching videos and worksheets, worth 1,500. It includes 5 90-minute one-to-one coaching sessions to track the progress, worth 2,500. It includes review of CV from the company hiring manager standpoint. It includes access to network and mentoring opportunities. Any recommendations you need, I can provide it to you. So the total value is at least 4,200, and I'm only asking you to invest 1,499. Now, this is a limited time offer, and I think, don't think of it as a cost, think of it as an investment you're making into yourself. You know, the time is priceless. Time is, you know, it's like a sand in your hand, you know, just you can't return time. So every time when you delay the career growth, the focus, that the time gone, you can't return it. And at the same time, younger generation, more ambitious people are just jumping on the boat and they're just overtaking. And this is the worst feeling, that you can't understand, why am I losing? Why am I not doing as well? And, you know, some people might think, oh, it's such a big investment, but, you know, some of my clients, they actually ask company to invest, and they spend money, but then they get the money back from the company because it's their way of developing necessary skills. Also think about it as investment which pays back with a salary increase. So in this example, if your annual salary currently around 35K, you will get at least 10% pay rise once promoted, okay? So that will be 3,500 more. So in cash, less tax, you will be getting nearly 2,500, okay? So this is extra cash you will get. So you will get this money returned to you in year 1. And then every year when you will be getting promoted, You know, the ROI is becoming better and better. So it's a no-brainer. It's a very good price. However, if you don't invest in yourself now, if you don't get promoted, it's highly likely that with your current average salary of 35K, you will have 3% pay rise. You know, the net will be 1,000, then cash around 735. And again, when are you going to be promoted? No one knows yet. So the difference between these numbers, 2,400 and 735, is 1,750 more. So that's what I'm saying. It's highly likely that you will also get some bonuses and some additional perks, like additional holidays. You know, access to the car bonuses or car allowance. So on top of that 10%, you will also, with the promotion, might get some additional financial incentives. So don't worry about investments. Think about investments in your growth, in the growth which will allow you to take your families to holidays. You know, it will allow you to, you know, do things you always wanted to do. There's so many things I want to do that I am doing, and that's the program which helps you also to build your career. And you know, the pension, that's what motivates me. I want to grow because I want to have a solid pension fund. I want to travel first class. I want to grow young. You know, I want to do fun stuff, sign up to different classes. You know, I want to have younger looking skin, which requires very expensive skincare products. You know, so I want to be able to afford it. I want to have an exciting life. And that's what I'm investing myself. When I have coaches, when I have mentors, you know, and the price I'm paying currently is much, much more than 1,499, which is the cost of my program. So, you know, think about it. Think about where you need to be in 5 years' time, or where you want to be in 5 years' time. And really, if the money is an object, I understand it, but really think whether you will be able to get to the point where you want to be, your ideal destination, without allowing yourself to grow. Now, how to get in touch with me if you're still on the thinking bench? You can follow me on the LinkedIn. So Jana Bond on the LinkedIn profile, or check my website, Jana Bond. So it's very, very straightforward. And I hope you find this presentation insightful. I really hope that you took some insights, some tips, which you can also include in your work from today, from now. And don't delay it. Don't delay. That's my, I think, tip. It's times goes by, and it's very, very difficult to get to the right level when company knows that you spent 10 years in the same level. Very hard. So you need to work every day, every year passes by. It's going to be harder and harder. So you really need to make sure that you know now what you need to do, and you do it. You know, action, action, action. Okay, everyone. So you know where to find me. These are my details. So I'll just stop share my screen. And I think almost an hour has passed by. I hope you found this presentation interesting. Please get in touch with me on LinkedIn, message me, sign up to my program, janabond.com//work with me. And if you have any questions, I will be obliged, you know, and excited to answer you. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for listening to me and staying that long. And I wish you all the best. Take care for now. Bye.